I'm your host, James Palmquist,
I'm Jimmy.
and today we bring to you the Oscars. Do you know why I don't like the Oscars?
Why?
Oh, I didn't expect you to ask me. It's garbage. It's the dumbest thing imaginable because they don't understand what film is, in my opinion.
I do think a lot of times they have given in to politicking on what should win. Um, One of the examples I will give is Shakespeare in Love. It was a fine movie. It was entertaining. I don't know how that won Best Picture. We've had other examples where The Gladiator won with Russell Crowe, and it's like he should have won prior, but you negated Tom Hanks winning for Castaway, where it's like, dude literally went
That's
through hell to become that character. Are you kidding me right now?
in filming. That is a one-man movie.
Leo, talk about Leo.
DiCaprio?
And some dude named Leo.
Leo. Oh, that one guy from that one
Yes.
movie where the boat sinks?
And that's what we do. We have a bias against certain individuals for whatever reason. Our esteemed colleague still Kyle, sorry, and Leo DiCaprio, or to me, Jim Carrey. It's like they will not give Jim Carrey an award because he's comedic, yet he's done some amazing dramas.
Spotless.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Thank you. Eternal
came
Sunshine
close.
of the Spotless Mind is a beautiful film, and yet they're like, nah, we're good. It bothers me so much that it's either political or it's old white farts not understanding what makes film film. And it hurts me because it's like I've watched the amount of movies I've watched relative to my father and a lot of my other colleagues here at Nerd Alert is few. But what I have watched, I can say with complete certainty are some of the greatest movies ever, and yet all of them almost always just get passed up. And it hurts me to know that. Like, we brought it up in our Pulp Fiction video, or we'll bring it up in a video about Pulp Fiction at some point in time. It's a bit fuzzy on when that video will exist. Superposition, Schrodinger's cat. But it was like Pulp Fiction got passed up for, what was it, Forrest Gump? And in my opinion, Pulp Fiction is the better movie by a long shot. Forrest Gump is a fun film. It's a great story. It's beautiful. But Pulp Fiction is infinitely better because it tells a more compelling story in a much harder format, which in my opinion, if we're basically just going off of what the original concept was, Pulp Fiction wins by a long shot. It's like you're telling a non-linear story about a bunch of underground crime that just goes off the flippin' rails. And that's so much more compelling as a movie, in my opinion. Yes, again, Forrest Gump.
He was grumpy at times.
Forrest Gump was a great movie. It is about a dude who just ends up on a bunch of weird adventures somehow. But Pulp Fiction is just so much more engaging as a film. And that's where, in my opinion, I think some of the bias from the Academy comes from the fact that they want to pander because they are pansies.
I will be curious this year because we've had a strike from both the actors and the writers, so not a lot of films have been released. So I would love to see the Academy nominate Barbie.
Yes!
I think that would be phenomenal. Mission Impossible.
Yes.
To have these films that Guardians of the Galaxy that typically would not ever come close.
No.
But because they don't have a lot to choose from, this is what we're going to get.
Exactly. And to finally bridge this gap, this is my biggest frustration. Animation always gets destroyed at these award shows, specifically the Oscars and with the Academy, because they think animation is for children. Go watch Akira. Go sit through that and tell me that's for children. Go watch, I don't know, literally any animated movie that doesn't have a rating of PG, because those are not for children. I have watched enough animation to know that it's not always just for kids. It hurts me to watch a lot of beautiful animated movies basically get just shafted because they're for kids. I watched Princess Mononoke. That's not for children. That's terrifying.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the Academy created its own category of animation, because they didn't want it to really put it in with the best picture. And we have the same problem with comedies. It is very hard to act and write comedies, yet these are usually ignored completely when it comes to
Absolutely.
awards.
Some of the best movies I've watched are comedies. I think Airplane is genius. And Monty Python, both Holy Grail and Life of Brian, are like comedic genius. It is not easy to write that level of comedy, even if from the outside it's like, oh, that's stupid. It's just slapstick. It's like, even then, slapstick is still hard to write for because you have to consider, you have to get the right actors for slapstick. You have to consider that the bit will translate. There's all these things that go into comedic writing that it's like, that is an Olympian feat just on itself to write comedy. And then they're like, nah, whatever. I could write a drama in like 30 minutes. That's easy. Writing a comedy in 30 minutes? That's not.
I would like to read both that drama and that comedy.
He will be my harshest critic because no matter what I write, he'll just think it's. I'm kidding.
Not true.
Moral of the story: the Academy sucks because they inherently don't understand what makes film, and they want to pander and they want to play it political. And I'm really excited, along with my father, to see how the hell they're going to work with this most recent year of film because they have to deal with basically what they would never touch normally, like Barbie, Guardians of the Galaxy, Across the Spider-Verse.
I'm just saying Margot Robbie for Best Actress would be phenomenal.
Absolutely. And if Oppenheimer wins, I'm cool with that because it still means of all the things they had to contend with, they were still forced into a corner, and it proves that it's like, y'all are just a bunch of old white men who don't know what you're talking about. Also, Peaches by Jack Black for best song from an original motion picture. Please.
Just to have him perform
Oh my God.
during the ceremony would
Yes.
be amazing.
Yes. I would pay unlimited amounts of money for that.
His money, not mine.